Hey friends, welcome to another stream. Welcome, letting everybody settle in. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope everybody's doing super well. Hi. Aw, my favorite ZBrush teacher. Thank you, Mage. Sending positive vibes. Thank you. I am very receptive to them. I appreciate the positive vibes. How's everybody doing today? Welcome. So, today, we are going to continue this project that I started 2 weeks ago on my ZBrush Live stream in Portuguese. I was not able to stream last week, so this is after 2 hours. It's just the neck. We're just doing a bust. To recap, last stream we blocked out and started working on some of the secondary forms. We weren't able to push it too far. I made some VDM brushes for the spikes. You can actually still see them here. I'm thinking about giving these for you for free on my Discord. So feel free to join the Discord here. I need to pull up my links. But yeah, they get the job done for sure. If nothing else. I'm hoping that today we can get through all of the skin, scales, wrinkles, and of course we want to break some symmetry. The teeth are a placeholder. I just used the default VDM like creature brush for that, to just be able to, it didn't look like the right dragon unless we put in the teeth. So we had to do that. Here you can see a little bit of reference. I had to remake my reference board because I lost my old one just by not saving it. Every once in a while I'll just delete stuff from my computer just because. So let me automatically arrange here. The software that I use for reference is called Pure Rough. You should try it. It will literally change your life. It's by far my favorite reference option out there right now. And it's totally free as well. Let me move some windows around and we are going to get right into it. All right, almost done. Oh, I can hear myself. We're gonna have a chill stream today. I've been working pretty hard to, fix my energy, get my energy right again. That's nothing really bad. It's just every once in a while I need to scale back how many projects I do in order to be able to relax and recover, And I know that that's a very common thing with you guys too, because every time I talk about it, somebody says that they relate a little bit as well. We can be a little bit overtaxing on ourselves as 3D artists, right? I'm gonna go ahead and turn on some lazy mouse to make some nice, big wrinkles. I really wish there wasn't so much of that culture of crunching and, not sleeping and then being proud of how much you did or how badly you treated yourself. I used to be like that when I was younger, for sure. Sometimes I still overdo it, of course. So I'm just kind of grabbing my demi standard, making it nice and softer. Just kind of drawing in some guidelines for where I'm going to want some of the scales to go. I'm torn between using pre-made scale VDMs that I have a billion of them, or making new ones so you guys can see how I've been doing it. I'm gonna let you decide. What would you like for today? Please let me know in chat. Do you want me to just get on with it? Or do you want me to show you how I would make these? see how you make Okie dokie. Let's just wrap up some of the refinements I'm currently doing. And then we'll just throw on a ton of scales that I'm gonna make today. Little baby dragon here. Alright. I'm drinking some of my hot chocolate before it becomes a cold chocolate. It's already a little cold. Okay. I feel like all this work I might be willing to do right now is going to disappear after some time. We might as well move on to the little brushes. There's a couple of types of scale brushes I like to make. And what that might do is, first thing I should do is actually break down the types I need. Honestly, he doesn't have many like meaningful different scales. You know, like if you look at a crocodile, you'll notice a ton of different scale shapes, sizes, and features just in general. This little guy doesn't really have anything too crazy going on, you know. Sure, there's some different shapes up here, but they're still all the same. And then we got some like diamond-y shapes for the neck, which, like I discussed last time, they look a little repetitive, right? We can kind of see a pattern repeating, or maybe a little too much. But it's okay. It's still a wonderful little dragon. You know, I just love a good dragon, and this is a good dragon. Barkuk. Hello there, Wish. Nice stream. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, Odon. I'm doing good. How are you doing today? How are you doing? Long time no see. I mean, I guess we're gonna crawl up this way. So what I like doing is I like starting with a plane to make my VDMs. That's number one. You can actually find the plane for the VDMs right up here. Project miscellaneous. These are here, brush 3D templates. These are perfectly made for your VDM purposes. Some people also use normal planes for it, but I've had a couple of issues in the past with a normal plane. So what I did was I actually opened up these projects and I saved out the planes as a Z tool. So I like to just load that up real fast whenever I'm about to do this. This is just my way of doing it. You know, a lot of people question this. It's okay. You can do it however you'd like. But yeah, I just opened up my Z tool, my VDM plane. Charles Logan, I'm doing good. How's everybody else doing? There we have our plane. Look at the polyframe. It's pretty high. Okay. I like to duplicate the plane and hide the original, so that way I can always have a new one that, like, you know, I can mess with just in case. And then let's pick one scale to start with. So I always go for the most nondescript scale. And look, these are just really basic, guys. Like, these are maybe I'll jazz something up. So let's go for a square-ish one. So these are like rounded squares, okay? Here's how I do it. I divide it up a bunch of times. Oh, it's already kind of divided. And then I'll come in here with my symmetry and I'll make the shape. So it's like a rounded square, right? Odon knows all about this. He's done this quite a few times, hasn't he? With me. Just make it whatever outer shape you want for your scale. I make my first scales really, like, unspecific. And that is the idea. Make one that's really easily reusable and then go from there. Then I like to go to Deformation, which is basically just a menu that applies changes to your models, but all at once. So basically, it'll grab all the unmasked part. Ludan says they're good, better rested, working in Retapo today. Nice. Today I finally decluttered my kitchen. I told you guys on my Discord that I was thinking about it yesterday. I ended up doing nothing yesterday. I literally, I went to Tampa to drop someone off at the airport. Then I came back and I worked. I had some mentee meetings, and then I literally sat on my couch and just ate like dinner in multiple courses because like I couldn't decide what to eat, so I just like had different leftovers like little by little, and I was like, I'm just gonna have a little bit of pasta, and so I would have it and I'd still be hungry, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a little bit of this next. That was my Saturday night. So what I do is I hit the inflate a little bit, and then I do inflate balloon a little bit, and what that does is it kind of like creates that 3D form for the scale to start taking form. I'll grab a little bit of clay buildup, just kind of change it up a little, round it out, smooth, like so. Then maybe I'll just go up a subdivision or two. Like so. Maybe I should have hardened the mask a little, but now it's too late. Maybe I'll just do a little bit of more inflate, just to kind of get more definition, like so. Literally, we're almost done already. Then sounds, yes, I have. I think you made me reduce scales until I'm sick of them. Kidding. I'm glad you put me through that, so now I know what to do. On a side note, the scales on your piece made me imagine a dragon with corn for scales. Oh my god, finally I have something to post on TikTok for that It's Corn song. You guys know the Corn song? I was playing some Jackbox with my friends on Tuesday, and I referenced the Corn song, and nobody knew what I was talking about. It was like one of the saddest days of my week. So what I'd like to do is I like to mess up the outside a little bit, but I will take symmetry off because otherwise it gets a little uncanny. Always mess up the sides a little bit on this one. Keep in mind that when you're making VDM brushes, everything you put on this plane will be in the final. So don't mess something up over here because that will be part of your brush. So I partnered with Maxon to make a wonderful, fun new project for you guys. And it's still a secret. But I gotta tell you, it's turning out real solid, if I just say so myself. I'm gonna grab the standard brush and I'm gonna like pre-add all these like blobs that seem to be on top of the scale now, so that I don't have to do it later. Gonna go ahead and go to spray. Alpha 08, I think. And I'm just gonna turn it way down. Maybe mask again. Divide up. Maybe I made the intensity too low now. Something like this. Looks relatively nondescript from here, but we'll see how it looks in a little bit. Yes, I was annoying friends in Discord with that song during the stream. It's corn. The stream just got demonetized immediately. But I haven't introduced myself yet, for those of you who might not know me. So let's go ahead and do that. So my name's Anna Carolina. Been streaming with ZBrush Live since the beginning of 2018. I am a 3D technical artist and VR developer by day, and character artist by night. Although lately I've also been doing a ton of other things, such as writing a book, running my own business, and generally just making myself really tired constantly. One project I have going on for the future that I want to like give you guys a little sneak peek on is that I might be starting a podcast with some industry pros from games, animation, movies, manufacturing, toys, and even maybe cosplay. We'll see. So it will be kind of a general like, we are people who work in creation in the entertainment industry, and we are here to discuss, the latest games that come out, the latest projects that are done, industry news, things like that. So do stay tuned for that. Your Maxon project is a plugin for ZBrush that lets us make these masterpiece sculpts you do on stream, isn't it? Mage, a podcast sounds awesome. I tune into that. That's a really cool idea. Thank you. And the best part is that I would do it with people, so I wouldn't be so alone. Guys, real fast, I'm going to test out my little scale by selecting a chisel brush, whatever one I want, and saying from mesh, and now that should automatically kind of turn that into a scale. I think that's for me. This will be the base scale. Like so. Okay. I always just do it real fast. I don't spend too much time on each scale because honestly, if I mess it up and then if I spend too much time on it and then I don't like it at the end, that's a huge waste of time. Okay. But yeah, do stay tuned for my little podcast. Literally, I haven't felt this excited about a project in a while. And what makes me excited about this one is that we already have, like, the podcast doesn't even have a name. Well, actually, I have an idea, but it's not official. It's not real yet. But I already have dozens upon dozens of new people that work in the industry, that are directors and designers and artists of every sort, already lining up to be guests to share their expertise with you guys. There's a dire need for people in our industry to share their expertise, specifically in a positive way. So let's check to see if it's high enough. I think I might have to divide up a little bit. Recently I started using HD geometry, guys. We might HD geometry up. Let's try it. I mean, I might as well save first, but now that my base scale is done, I'm going to create some extra shapes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this plane and I'm going to duplicate the original plane again, copy on the scale, go up a few subdivisions perhaps, copy on the scale and make new shapes. It's that simple to make variants, So I'm going to make a more hexagonal one, like somebody else had suggested in chat. Just make as many as you'd like. You can use the same base over and over again. So then I'll just grab that same brush from before, from mesh. Try it on. Yeah, okay. So yeah, like I was saying, we are in a dire need of the pros sharing their expertise. Guys, I've been doing mentoring for a while now, right? A year and a half or so. And you would be so surprised at the exact same problems that everybody has. Everybody has the same problems, just over and over and over and over again. And who am I to assume that it's just my mentees? It's not. It's everyone. It was me when I was starting. And it's a cycle, everybody has the same issues. Everybody has the same questions. For example, how long does it take to do things? I've already been trying to get a job for a year. What am I doing wrong? What if I could get all of these amazing professionals that we look up to and we put them on the stand and we ask them the details, how long did it take you? What was the hard part? Did everything fall in your lap? Because it's so easy to look at somebody who's been doing it for 20 years, who's amazing at art, great at business, they have money, they have all this stuff, right? They even have fans sometimes. And we look at them and we're like, this person's just naturally better than me. Are they better than you? Or were they the exact same as you? Struggling at the beginning, they didn't have a network, they didn't know where to go. It's so easy to idealize people. And if we could just bring them on and humanize everybody and make sure that that you're headed in the right direction and all this stuff. I personally, that's Going to be so exciting. Let's make a round one. Did I already make a round? Yeah, we need to make a round one. Do. Round it out. This isn't even the end of the process. This is just making individual scales that are like certain shapes. And like one thing that I'm not doing that I should be doing is like actually giving them all like slightly different, you know, shapes, like just details like this. Okay. Then let's from mesh that. When you do from mesh, you have to make sure that you're looking at it straight on. Turn off perspective. Don't put it at an angle. Just snap it, and then everything should be okay. It's easy to see the end results. People don't see the blood, sweat, and tears of hard work. Absolutely, Adam. 100% agree. I feel like a new computer is on the horizon for you with bigger projects. My computer, man, it's holding up. It's probably that 3090. That one helps. What I'm gonna need actually is just like a external hard drive to back up my stuff, because let's just say that I have a ton of files. Like, you guys would laugh at my hard drive right now because it's like billion gigs of just video recordings. I record everything and I don't ever clean it out. So like every single stream I've ever done is somewhere on my D drive. Every tutorial I've ever done, every feedback session for a mentee I've ever done. Sometimes I'll even record myself to like camera tests, you know, see how I look and stuff, and that's still on there. I need more space. Okay, now that we've kind of gotten a couple of shapes, I'm gonna get another clean VDM plane on here. Divide that up quite a bit. Hey, what is that tool you're using? I've never seen it. How is it useful? I'm curious. Arian, so what I'm using is VDM brushes, and I'm making my own. I have an entire tutorial on this on the ZBrush Live YouTube channel of how to do it exactly. But basically, you can make your own like 3D alphas that have undercuts and things like that. Karaoke Blokey says, have faith in your own work is the first hurdle. Once you believe in yourself and your confidence, and your work will shine through. So I'm going to make some clusters of scales. I think what I like to do is I like to go to curve, and I like to turn wrap mode to 1. That way, whenever I do something on the plane, it kind of gets done everywhere. Pretty fun. Bozarg, I am a beginner in character art. How could I study anatomy properly? I have all these courses and I understand the muscles and the form, but I cannot easily make forms within ZBrush in action. Well, I suppose what you're going through is a classic like theory versus practice thing. You know, like theoretically you can know all the muscles and their names or their functions. But in practice, you're not there yet. That's totally fine, you know? Good for you, the solution is already in the name, which is simple. Hey, you need to practice, right? You might be expecting too fast of results, you know, from just knowing the theory. You might have unrealistic expectations, you know. ZBrush forces you to understand things 360, and it's hard, you know. It's not easy or anything like that. So definitely, you know, watch out. Be nice and careful, and just continue putting in that work, you know. Eventually you'll get it. Eventually you'll click. At least I think it will. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to set this up, guys. So this is going to mess up the corners quite a bit, actually, because I used the move brush. Maybe I should undo that, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sure this next question gets asked a lot. Nonetheless, I'll send it in. Do you have any experience with something? I don't. So sorry. Like, I really don't. If I did, I would tell you. So how am I going to do this, guys? Cats breaking stuff in the living room. Can you guys even hear that? Still getting used to this new microphone. I'm gonna try it out with the totally messed up corners. Let's see how that goes. I'm gonna try a different trick to try to like fix up the corner. So let's see how I can make it work. If I can't, then we'll just make it simple. Just drag them on, you know. Alright, then I'm gonna take my document and I'm gonna change the size to 1024 by 1024. Oh, I should turn off the proportion thing. Type it in again. You guys know that textures, we normally do them by multiples or the power of 2. Then resize. Yes. Okay, so that's 1024 by 1024. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of the background a little bit so I can tell where it is. It's supposed to end. And then I'm just going to kind of stretch this stuff so that I just get rid of the outer edges. Might not work, guys. It's like the outer edges are not supposed to get this messed up, but we'll go from there. Alpha. Creates. No, wait. Where am I supposed to go to alpha from? Grab doc. Let's see how that looks. Oh, wrong brush for sure. Let's go ahead and go to stroke and turn on roll. Oh, it works, but it's got little stripes. Hello from Portugal. Hola. I can mask the corners and like shift them back into a plane, but I'm not sure if I want to. Or I can always use Photoshop as well. Let me go to auto masking and then turn on directional for a second. It's starting to get like somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Odon's like, I know these things. I was there when the laws were written. But, you know, the problem is that it's not seamless. But I think I could maybe still make it work without having to do too much else. Because like if I make them nice and small, it would look fine. Also, they look a little flat. So let's go back here. Sparkles. Hi. Sparkles has gone from trying to destroy the kitchen to like not realizing that I'm home, and now he's surprised that I'm here. You guys see him? Hey, Sparkles. The grab doc automatically makes a new alpha map. It's already the same size as the document is, so it's 1024. You can always go a little bit higher, of course. So let's see what I can do here. I'm not sure if I like it. It looks too much like a soccer ball. But if I go smaller, maybe we can make it work. Let's find out. What do you guys think? Be honest. Yeah, digital sculpting, I agree. Hi, Warrior Maddie. How you doing? Thank you, Anton. Thank you, Ganglieri. So I'm just kind of throwing some of these on just to see how it goes. We are not even using layers yet. Like, that's how early we are in this process. Let's see how it looks with a little paint. So I'm going to try to like paint it on real quick. So I'm going to start with like the darker color. Just in this area. Like, I really do like to treat this like it's a prototype whenever I'm doing this. Just because I really don't like, I don't want to embrace the brush until I think that I've gone the right direction, you know? So like, I want to kind of walk through the whole prototype, like, just to see if it works for me. And I'll grab that like reddish, orangey color. Okay. I'm gonna go to auto masking, or just masking and mask by cavity. And that should theoretically grab a little bit of the little scales, and then I'll just kind of paint on the red in the area. Maybe I should change this to spray, just to make it more blobby. Maybe I'll grab the alpha too, and then like I'll grab with that black again, and just kind of spray it around. I think that's good enough for a speed sculpt. What do you guys think? If it wasn't a speed sculpt, I would 100% take this alpha into Photoshop. So therefore, since it isn't, I just want to finish it today. Yeah, this is fine. It looks fine from like a distance as well, which is what matters. And if I wanted to, I could probably come in here and also at the same time kind of throw on a little bit of contrast. So a quick save real fast. Sigil says, it feels too early to focus on the scales. Do not worry, Sigil. The reason for that being that I've done a lot of dragons and reptiles, and the tendency is to always over-focus on the anatomy, and then the scales kind of it delete all of that effort anyway. So I just go ahead and put on the scales at the same time as like the tertiary forms. That's just my technique. You're more than welcome to use your own technique. That's the beauty of all this. Let's see. Deformation, contrast, a little bit of contrast. Let's see how. Ooh. The slider is so sensitive, and obviously I hit inflate instead of contrast. Do I have both selected? Like, is that a possibility? I didn't know that. Oh Lord. Hi, Andrew Sneaker. Sometimes the sliders on the deformation, if your piece is really high poly and you bash it too many times, this does happen. Okay, so do not fret. We had quick saved, and that's like a little pro tip, you know. Before you do a heavy operation, just hit quick save one time. No biggies. All right, let's grab that quick save. Actually, I'm going to grab the one right before it, because that quick save was mostly for trying out the scales, and I was going to undo stuff anyway. So Looks like I might have lost my multi-scale thing, but I think I should still have it here. So alpha. Oh, never mind. So let's go get that quick save again, because we can just remake the alpha real fast. Fair enough. I don't make scales on my lizards except for small patches. You're definitely seems great for realism. Thanks. It can look good if you spend enough time on it. Plot twist. Not what we're doing here, right? So let me just recapture that alpha real fast. Like, let's do that. You know what? Why don't I use my brain for a second? And I'm just gonna kind of come in here and I'm just gonna like square out this a little. That will help with me being able to like create a better alpha, even though like it's not gonna be perfect. But like if I make it the most square possible, you know, it's still gonna help a little bit. God, I really go back and forth between absolutely hating these playlists and liking them. Today it's a bop. It works for me today. Make it a little better. Not perfect, but a little bit better. So alpha, grab document, and let's grab that standard brush. Just draw it on real fast. Well, it might help to actually apply the alpha. And then we set up the brush again. So stroke, modifiers, roll, and then brush, auto masking, directional. Alright. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and save out this alpha. Go ahead and export it. Just put it wherever you like. I have my own little brush folder here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the previous quick save. Alright, let's go ahead and open that old quick save. I can't tell which one's the first one. Oh, this one might work. I did notice this one. Alright, we got our little baby here. Okay. We got our alpha. Everything's good in the world. We're safe. We're sound. It's all good. We're back in business. All right. I saved out my alpha. Oh my god. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference in sound, but my headset is really old, and so sometimes when I just hit it, it will make the sound really loud on my computer. I love your tutorial about a frog. It's a really cool tutorial. Thank you. I like the little frog too. I've got to be honest. Okie dokie. So, I don't know if HD geometry works with layers. Let's find out. Geometry. Let me go ahead and start recording a layer. Oh, it looks like I already have a layer. Great. Then, new layer. Scales 1. I might have many layers by the time we're done here. And then let's see. I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna find out together. So geometry HD, where are you? Here we go. Divide HD. Oh, yeah, maybe. Let's find out. Hi, Harry. Let's see if I can make this work. I mean, it's definitely already taxing, so that's because I haven't turned on the like radio yet. We're gonna find out. The layers might get in the way. Alright, I'm just gonna get rid of that for now. Okay, now we're back to normal. So let's check my layer, make sure it's still recording. All's good. Everything's fine. So I'm gonna make my brush a little smaller. I'm gonna make sure that all my settings are okay. And I'm gonna start applying the scales. Maybe I should do like not such an important area, because like the scale application does get better the more you go and learn how to work with the alpha. So I'm gonna start with maybe like underneath the jaw. And just get the size right and all that stuff. That's way too big. And then the intensity might need to come up a little. So I'm just trying a few different things. But this is just the first round of alphas that I'm doing. Like, we might need more. And then, of course, I'm gonna have to go recover those single ones too for the forehead. I like to do the important areas that have bigger scales individually. I'm kind of getting in between the little horn and the spikes here. Cool thing about layers too is that I can just duplicate the layer if I want more intensity on these, which I think I might. There, Bo, I'm glad you like the spikes. Boa noite, Ana. Seu desafio de D&D me deu uma inspirada para estudar escultura digital na prática. Eu não tive tempo de participar nele, mas agora estou todo dia pegando uma criatura do livro para fazer um sketch. E sempre um sacrifício só para pensar no que fazer. Que bom que eu te inspirei, essa é uma honra. Guys, by the way, after this stream is over, I'm going to start streaming on my own channel, Anna Carolina Arts, and I'm going to be doing a free portfolio review. So if you want me to look at your portfolio or just some of your art, head on over to my Discord for instructions. Here's the link in chat. Plus, check out all of my other social media and YouTube channel. I have a ton of content for you guys. Just in general, you can reach out to me. And of course, you can join my workshop and my mentorships. There's going to be a new spot that opens up for the mentorship soon. If you want to work one-on-one with me. I feel like I'm starting to really get a hang of this. The closer you are to the center, the more important it is to break symmetry, guys. Right now I haven't broken like any massive symmetry, but that's because I'm trying to work smart, not hard. And then I'll do that in a little bit. Like once all the scales are put down, I'll just break the symmetry a little bit. I love everybody coming in here, like wishing me a good stream. You guys are so nice today, or just in general, but especially today. Thank you. Break that symmetry. Get that middle part on its own. Now let's see what it looks like since I've closed out an area. Let me stop recording my layer. Save. record the layer, and then we're going to see how it looks when I duplicate the layer. So to duplicate, you just hit this button here, and it will take everything you just did and make it more dramatic. I don't hate it. What do you guys think? Starting to look scaly, that's for sure. There's some overlapping and stuff. That's the kind of thing that I would yell at my mentees about, but okay, for a quick sculpt, and not to mention we can just go in and fix the little areas with like some individuals, like kind of like taking over, you know, a little bit. I think it'll be good. Let's delete that new layer. For now, this is just a test. And then go back to working on the old one layer. Let's let that start climbing up into the jaw. I wonder if I have a better vision of him here. Little baby. No. Seems I'm already on my best reference here. For this part, I'm gonna make the size like by a little bit bigger, like maybe to 11 or something. No, that's already too big. 10. If you click on the number and you type in, normally you can just snap to that number. So let's go ahead and start putting it on. And this time I'm going to kind of follow a little bit of the anatomy that I've already kind of put in, those lines that I put in at the beginning of the stream. Thank you, Rahul. Olivier. Wow, so nice for the portfolio review. I'm actually doing mine, but it's in progress. Can I ask for a review once it's more finished? Of course, but also, like, there's nothing wrong with asking for a review and stuff before it's done, right? That way you have more time to refine it, you know? Like imagine if it's done, right? Imagine your portfolio is done, and then, like, I tell you all these things you need to fix, and then it's not done anymore, you know? It's good to get feedback while you are... Oh no, I don't have Symmetry on. Yeah. This is the saddest moment of my life. Okay. Honestly, I'm torn between mirroring, but since I don't want to like mess anything up with like my subdivisions and stuff, I'm literally just going to redo the other side real fast. More organic this way. That's what I'm going to tell myself. That's the thing about turning Symmetry on and off. Like, you really do have to remember to turn it on when the time's right again. And that is something that I think we all forget at some point. There we go. No sweat. I've really been working on my stress levels. And I gotta tell you guys, like, my anxiety has gone down drastically in the past few months. Like, things that used to give me anxiety don't anymore. I'm like the chillest I've ever been. I really hope it keeps getting better. And what I learned is that being well mentally, it was more about understanding and accepting the parts of myself that I don't like than it was about improving myself. And then everything all of a sudden is not so punishing anymore, you know? All of a sudden I can accept my flaws much more, accept life, and be okay with it. Because, like, honestly, like, me fighting myself and, like, not accepting myself was the real worst thing that I could do. So now I'm just, like, vibing, you know? Olivia, I really like your videos, by the way. It's always super interesting and fun. Oh, thank you. Zigil is asking, hey chat, who else is also sculpting and what are you making? That's a great question. Olivia, making an axe for my portfolio. Ozan says, all of your hints, tips, and tricks and corrections and scales are going through my head at the moment. You sound like a native. Also, you have a nice style, Salvi. it's because I've spent so much time of my life living in places where I had to speak English. I learned English the hard way. Thrown in with the wolves. Doing a 1-year class is super intense, but I hope it will be enough to get a job. There's a lot more to get a job. Like okay, a class, sure, can get you a job, no problem, you know. I'm writing an entire book on what I think goes into getting a job easier, though. Not as in like easy as in like don't take a class, but like working hard, making a good portfolio, but also networking, working on your marketing, working on your image, building reputation. These are all very important things that matter in the great scheme of things. To, you know, not only getting a job but also remaining employed, because as you know, like a lot of our industry goes through a lot of layoffs and things like that, and getting your first job doesn't always guarantee that you'll have an easy time in the future. So by doing these extra steps constantly, making them a priority, you will have an easier time, you know. Just this week, one of my bosses was telling me, like, Anna, you have no idea, like, how strong of a hand you have in the industry. And I was like, actually, I think I do. Because I built this strong hand on purpose, with meaning, with intention, right? So that I never had to struggle again, so that I could always have a job if I wanted one, that I could always have clients if I wanted one, or them. So that I could, you know, do all these things. And it wasn't easy, but it's so worth it. Ridiculously worth it, guys. Like, doing a little extra work every day to, instead of just learning how to do art and just becoming better at art, but also becoming better at like the game, you know, having friends, having contacts, having a reputation, it is literally what you want. Boa noite, Ana. Trabalhando com os meninos depois do contest, render bons frutos. Obrigada pela impressora. Ah, que bom. Que felicidade. Que bom, obrigada. Que bom que você gostou. Quando você postar, me dá um tag pra eu poder ver. Zigel, no lie, networking is the only reason I landed an industry job. Buddy convinced his boss to hire me. Yeah. What inspired you to start sculpting? I loved drawing. Like, I spent about 20 years drawing before I ever touched sculpture. And then one day I was in college already trying to learn like game art and game design, and all the 3D we learned was like Maxon and like hard surfacey stuff, and I hated that stuff. But then I started doing ZBrush in a class, and I was so hooked. It was so nice. I loved it. Indeed, it helps. I'm self-taught to start sculpting Maya many years ago when I was working as a games tester. Oi, Marcos. Okay, so this area kind of had like very even scales. Now I want to make a new scale brush for the lips, because it's just like side by side scales. Let's see if there's any here that I can use. Yeah, this square one. Square one. Back to the chisel brush. We're doing all that work. Okay, just a button click from mesh. And I'll grab that VDM plane. Turn off the symmetry. I think that in order to do the proper tiling, you actually have to go vertical sometimes. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn on that wrap mode again, wrap mode to 1, and that will make it so that when I do something to the bottom, it will happen to the top. And then I'm going to come in here, like so. struggle, struggle, then eventually get it. Click all the buttons. And then just kind of piece them together as much as you can. Try to straighten the situation out like before. Like so. Then resize your documents again. So take off Pro, N24 by 1024. Resize. Okay. Just drag it in, edit, and get it in the spots. Okay, then grab dock. Let's grab that standard brush that's already properly set up to work. Hey, this one turned out pretty good. Woo! Little lip brush. All right, let's go ahead and document, new document. No, oh, I should probably make it bigger. The lip stuff is going to go in a separate layer, okay? I like separating my layers, makes life easy peasy. Anna, do you do all the baking process for video game industry, or do you just sculpt high poly? What's your job? Great questions. Yes, I do that. No, I don't do it for every piece I make. Only when it's game ready or necessary. So that's the first thing. Let me actually make this a little bit more organic. It's a little too repetitive, I think. So that's mainly the info there. Sorry, one sec. Let me grab my lazy mouse situation here. 0.001 gets rid of the dotted look, but it also makes your brush super strong for some reason. So then you got to turn the brush down to make some nice stripes, like so. What is my job? Well, you wouldn't believe it. Just kidding. My job is multiple things. So I'm a professor at a college where I teach students how to do everything from I teach in 2 majors, game art and VR. I teach them how to design, programming, like game design and VR game design, programming, 3D art, of course, level design, all sorts of stuff. And I also run my own business where I help people by doing mentorships. Okay, I also know what else I need. They're too square. And I do freelance, sometimes as a technical artist, sometimes as a character artist. Although I haven't been doing a lot. Like I've only done freelance like a few times this year that weren't like tutorials or something educational or a presentation. Been focusing more on education lately. Resilience and stream, love it. Oi. Missed a lot of random chat about what? Cowboy Bebop and iPhones? Yeah, just skip ahead. We're just skipping all of that. Boa noite, Ana. Qual a melhor forma de conseguir freelance? A melhor forma de conseguir freelance é Mesma coisa que eu sempre ensino sobre encontrar seu primeiro emprego. Ou seja, você tem que ter uma boa portfólio e fazer seu próprio marketing online e conhecer pessoas. Essa é a primeira coisa. Pra também mudar um pouco a situação do freelance, o que eu faço recomendo, quando você está completamente começando, eu recomendo se inscrever em alguns sites de freelancing, sabe? Como, por exemplo, Fiverr, e coisa assim, só para os seus primeiros clientes aparecerem, sabe? Para você começar a criar sua reputação como um bom trabalhador e tal. Só por alguns projetos, não para sempre, não necessariamente. Essa é a minha recomendação. How were you able to learn so many different areas of CGI? Pure, unbridled desperation, great note taking, creating a database of my knowledge, struggling, crying sometimes, dealing with the fact for 5 years or so of my career that because I wasn't focusing on just one thing, everybody was getting better at one thing faster than me versus me getting better at a ton of things really slowly. That was like one of the biggest pressures of my career. It was just like knowing that I was moving so slow compared to everybody else. But then a day came along that it didn't matter anymore. I had gotten just barely good enough at all these things that I passed pretty well. So yeah, just be patient, study, take great freaking notes, because it's really hard to bounce back. So like between one program and the other, and between one area of knowledge and the other. So it's better to just take great notes so that you can always just reference them. How to create a VDM brush with drag like that instead of clicking and dragging one out. So you just change this mode here to dots. But also this is an alpha, or just a normal alpha at the end of the day. This is so relaxing to watch. Thanks. I'm glad you like it. Can you please pin your socials? Of course. I don't know if I can, I don't know how to pin stuff. What does that mean? But there's the link right there. That link will take you everywhere. Discord, my Gumroad, my Instagram, all that good stuff. Oh, I don't like telling my age, Cakester. Honestly, I have no problem with how old I am. It's just that in the past, I've encountered a lot of hate, or like people that, you know how it is. Like I'm already a woman, and I'm younger than a lot of my peers. You know, I moved pretty fast through my career, and that creates a lot of tension and problems. And people will try to use it against me or bully me. So what I just do is I just literally don't say it anymore. I don't tell people my age anymore. And I started doing that when I was much younger, but I think it's a habit that I'm gonna keep. Again, I have no problem with my age. It's just that some people do. You know? Zigil says practice, 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 and then more practice. Do you think you can apply for an environment artist if you have props portfolio or vice versa? I don't know that exact response. It's not my specialty. I've never applied for an environment artist job. I don't have a prop portfolio. Please feel free to, like, what I like doing is I like asking Twitter whenever I have these little questions. You know, so yeah. I'm sorry, I wish I did know. Like, I don't see why it would be a problem, but honestly, like, I have an entire chapter in my book about making smart portfolio decisions. So like, this doesn't strike me as the smartest portfolio decision. Like, what you need to do is you need to find the exact jobs you want. And then what you go from there is you find out what they need. Like, the job descriptions will tell you, like, they want Maya versus Max, they want Unreal versus Unity, all this stuff. But then, like, you can also what would I say? Like, from there you can find the people who are in those jobs and see what their portfolios look like. Like I always say, guys, like, and this comes from my tech art side, don't make guesses, don't make assumptions, find data, take the time to research. The data will literally guide you right. Like, the data will take you places. If you are willing to actually put in the proper research when it comes to your job search, your portfolio, your career, like, that's going to put you ahead of like 80% of people competing with you. That's another one of my secrets, right? Maybe that's why I'm so young and I supposedly, according to some of you guys, have done so much. It's because I don't make random choices. I make calculated choices. I take calculated risks. I do research. And you actually make less effort and move faster if you have data. Zigil says that's actually, or Maxon says that's actually super smart about keeping my age secret. Yeah. Kickster, thanks. I was just asking because it's amazing how good you are at these things. If you are at a young age, thank you. Depending, right? If you are at a young age. I legit just tell people I'm a vampire now. Never disclose your age in the industry. People are weird. And then there's a bunch of people guessing in the chat. What's the best way of finding references? I just use Google. But if you're looking for like anatomical references, I have like a whole page on that on my Gumroad, like about all my favorite ones, like 3D scans, high resolution photos, stuff like that. Good advice. She's right. You have a supercomputer in your pocket. Do your research. Yeah. Of course, when I say that, I also don't mean like, how dare you ask me these questions? Like, of course not. You know, we're all doing our best, but I do think that you get the most up-to-date information by, you know, going to, like, by, I don't know, just finding it online, finding it from the source too. Like, sometimes, you know, Reddit has good answers, and I use Reddit. Like, I don't have a Reddit account or anything, but I do read it, like, when I'm looking for a specific answer. But, you know, sometimes get it from the source. Like, the source is, like, the people who work at the company, the people who put out the job postings, you know. And the industry moves really fast. So, like, it's just really tricky to, like, get asked, like, hey, what software should I know for this position? Like, I honestly don't know, because I don't research that, like, every month, because it changes, you know. Skill is more important than age. No one cared that Mozart was 13 banging out tunes. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, isn't there an entire movie about how this one guy was extremely jealous of Mozart? How do you find freelance jobs? Oh, so I like letting the freelance jobs find me. And that sounds really easy, right? Like, or maybe impossible, one of the two. But the thing is that you need to make yourself findable. That's like the main, most important thing. Is like, you don't want to be like 50 years into your career still going out and like sending random emails to people and messages on Instagram like, hey, can I please like do your art? You know, you got to build like a magnet around you that attracts people to your brand. Like the way I find freelance is people just message me or email me and they're like, hey, I have this project, I have money. And I'm like, I'll think about it, you know? And honestly, the better your magnet is, the more money you can charge, the more stable your income will be, all this good stuff. That's exactly what my book is about. I haven't worked on my book in a few months. Sorry guys, I know a lot of people are waiting for this damn book. Not to make an assumption, but I've heard quite a few requests. And so, you know, I'm working on it. Don't worry. I'm trying. I just have a lot of other projects. And I'm going to just make some like really bumpy ones for this area here. So like I'm going to make them like dramatic and extreme. And I'm going to take my pinch brush and like really stab them together. Make them really irregular. Irregular, maybe a little bit more blobness. Maybe I'll use the blob brush. It's always too strong. No, don't like. Use some other brush. Make a new alpha. Really like make it nice and irregular too. Like definitely want some craziness here. Try to make that square again to some degree. Document half. Really going back and forth between the document sizes is probably the most annoying part. Okay, let's see. Let's see where we are with this alpha. Okay, so I'm going to soften the focal shift, make it bigger, and just kind of run it along the edge here. It's not working quite right. Can you all quickly show how to use the layering system? Sure. So the layer system, basically, each layer stores any edits that you make to your brush, to your mesh, within it. So you can turn the layer on and off, for example, and only the stuff that was made while that layer was in recording mode, which is this little circle here. When you click it, it says rec, it's recording. Only the edits you make during that mode will be recorded within the layer, which makes it really easy to, you know, edit the mesh in some ways. So why do we use layers? So I like using layers for quite a few reasons. First is for like design purposes. Like if I'm not sure if I'm gonna like a choice that I'm making, like adding spikes, for example, put it in the layer because then I can just turn the layer off if I don't like it. Another thing is that you can turn the layer down and you know, make it more editable this way. You can even turn the layer inside out, like so. Like that. You can layer them, of course. And they work really well for detailing because you can use the morph brush to erase some of the details that you added. And you can even duplicate, for example, like for the scales part. I'm going to duplicate it later to make the scales more dramatic, like so. It says your one-on-one mentorship is sold out. I'm sorry, Marksman. It's sold out a lot. There should be a new spot opening soon, though. So there's a waiting list on there. Click that, sign up, and you'll be the first one to hear. Sophie says, I'm a 23-year-old and I just got my first 3 job after university. Definitely get what you mean, as most of the people I work with are much older men. Zigil says about the magnet part, work to bait the fish, don't go chasing sharks. Do you have any idea what the soft price of the book will eventually be? It's going to be affordable. It's going to be like between like $8 and $15 probably. Oh, Zigil, I'm glad I inspired you. Thank you for letting me know. Does the layering system currently have the scales as your built up alpha brushes? Yes. I can see how created alpha brush. I don't understand what you're saying. Are you going to unwrap that? So I'm not going to unwrap this one because I don't need to. It's not that kind of project. But if I were to, yeah, I would definitely unwrap the low poly version and then bake. I didn't even know ZBrush had layers. That's so cool. They are amazing. I'm in my 3rd semester. I'm focusing on modeling. Honestly, I really like creatures and stuff, but my professor told me it's a bit harder to hire in that. So I do props. That is a tale as old as time, right? Like, every teacher of all time warns people to not do character art. When at the end of the day, you can really, like not to be, like, cynical, but there's this story by Jim Carrey where he talks about how his dad settled out of the career he wanted so that he could provide for his family. And the punchline is basically, hey, at the end of the day, you can fail at the thing you don't even want to be doing. Just as easily as you can fail at the thing that you do want to do. So why not go for what you want to do? But hey, I digress. Like, it's a whole other story for a whole other day. I just don't like people telling other people not to go for their dreams because it's easier or harder. Like, a lot of the high rewarding things, you know, they're hard. Like, hey, it's really hard to be like a football player. But man, if you do, you'll be set, you know, for a long time. Unless you don't know how to manage your money, which is like a whole other story, which apparently happens a lot. I watched this show on Netflix that goes over people's finances, and yeah, it seems like that might be the case. Like, guys who do football spend too much money. But hey, it was a huge reward. I swear your tips and tricks are god tier. I gotta mess with layers now. I'll take a screenshot of that comment. You know, guys, I know sometimes I take screenshots of my favorite comments. Honestly, I just want a job because I know after it's more easy to move. I've also heard that you can use layering as blend shapes, but I can't find it anywhere. So the layers are basically blend shapes. You just have to export them into a software that calls it blend shapes, like Maya. Got some hair stuck in my eye. Oh, hi. One day when I'm good at character modeling, I'll model a medieval fantasy archer with your face on her. Oh, medieval, not medieval. I'm sorry. I thought that was extra funny because you were going to make her evil, and I loved it. I'm like, yes, make me an evil archer, please. Like, nothing would be more fun for me than to be an evil archer. Making it a little bit bigger as we get up here. That looks bad. Undo. Gosh, it doesn't look like we're going to finish this guy in time for my next stream. But you know what? It'll still be fun. We're still going to have a great second stream. And then I'll continue it next week. I only have about 35 minutes left on the stream. Alright, let's grab that chisel brush and make those extra versions here. From mesh. I only have these two now. It's okay. That's all I should need. Then we're going to make a new layer and make these individual scales up here. They might be a little strong, but it's okay. We'll turn it down. I know it's a little too round. That's a-okay though. We'll fix that in a bit. Let's see how it looks when I slide it around. Or even better, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just make new scales just directly on the forehead. Hey Pedro, tudo bem? Thanks, I'm glad you like my hair. How many subdivisions am I on? I think a few. Let me check later. Do your favorite comments motivate you when you have a bad day? Yes. Quite a bit, actually. I have a couple of things that I save to motivate me on a bad day. Like, I have letters that I write to myself reminding me why I do the things I do. And then I put in, your guys' fun message, like the most nice messages you guys send me. And what I do after that is I read them, whenever I'm thinking about quitting the whole thing. Sometimes I have like the bad thoughts of like, hey, I don't see why I do all this stuff. Like, I'm tired. I want to stop. So then I read those and I realize that, hey, maybe what I'm doing actually is meaningful. I have about 6 subdivisions for that person who had asked earlier. Oi, Carol, tudo bem? Parabéns pelo canal, sempre arrebentando. Aprendo muito com seus vídeos. Feliz aqui. Ah. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of... I'm already a little tired of doing this. Should have just inverted the mask. What am I even doing? Let's see if this helps at all. Yeah, I might hate it at the end. Find out. Masking. Sharpen mask. Then grab that inflate thing. It's quite the look there. A little bit of inflates here on my deformation. Quick save first. It's a good idea to write letters to yourself. I might try that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not worth it. Let's just go the easy way. Another reason why layers are good, you don't have to like undo things. You can just turn off a layer. If you don't like it, hooray. Turn on my alarm for when my next stream is supposed to start. Guys, by the way, if you're enjoying this stream, make sure to follow me on social media, watch my YouTube videos, my tutorials. I have my own Twitch channel, Anna Carolina Arts, where I do tons of streams. And actually, tonight, in 30 minutes, I'm going to start a free portfolio review on there. So if you want to participate, join my Discord server, where you can submit your work. It's first come, first serve. The submissions will open in 15 minutes, so don't submit too early, okay? What are you going to do on my next stream? Probably finish this. Because somebody's got to finish this, right? Unless you mean tonight's stream, in which case I'm doing a free portfolio review. For anybody who wants a portfolio looked at, or maybe just an individual piece of work, it's up to you. Join my Discord and read the rules, and then you can join. I don't understand what the horns are supposed to look like. Zero clue. It's like little boulders. We'll worry about that next stream. Just continue the scales for now. So the body has kind of like diamond scales. If I look at it right here, it looks like it's kind of a diamond pattern. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the scales one here. Because I think the face is about ready. I want to run a quick little paint job to see. Oh my god, do I have the same layer duplicated 4 times? Okay. They're just all named the same. So before I had grabbed a dark gray. Color fill object. Then a little bit of an orangey red. Make a new layer. Call it color. This is just temporary color for me to see how I like it so far. Masking. Mask my cavity. Need to make that a little bit shorter. Then more things get masked. Then turn on symmetry and paint. Oh, I think I have to invert the selection maybe a little bit. Oh, you know what? I didn't make the original gray dark enough. I need more contrast. More contrast. Color. Fill object. I should probably unmask. Color. Fill object. Okay, now we mask my cavity again. Then grab that reddish orangey color. Make sure that the mask's looking okay. Oh yeah, and the last thing I need to do is, instead of just painting it on, I'm going to change it to spray and turn on this alpha here, alpha 08. That way it's even more splotchy. I just do one pass, and then I might click one time with the control so that it softens the mask, and then just paint over a little bit more. And then grab that color again and just kind of model it around. Poly paint, adjust color, make the whole thing a little bit brighter. Watching work is incredibly entertaining and educational. Thank you, I appreciate it. Well, we're just going to continue on little by little over time on this little guy. This project's taking longer, but I used to do like 4-hour sculpts, now I'm doing 2-hour sculpts, so it makes sense that it's taking longer, right? Yeah, he does have wings in the reference. But right now, I'm literally just making a little head. Like, I'm not making the whole body. How much is your mentorship? It's sold out. Yeah, it's sold out. Feel free to join the waiting list. The price varies depending on what do you call it? How many people want it. I'm just gonna do the head. Is that the dragon from Game of Thrones? It's the dragon from the new series. The series House of the Dragon. I'm gonna make a new layer real fast. And then I'm going to take my Damien Standard. Grab just the head. Oh, I forget. Let's just take off the paint for a sec. And kind of just come in here and make those little, like, stripes. Normally I line up the scales to work with the stripes, but alright guys, I'll be right back. Let's go use the restroom for a second. I am back. Can you drop your Twitch link here? Sure. Of course. Why not? Let's see how the model's really dark. Well, sometimes what I like to do is to make the material a little bit lighter itself so that it reflects more light. So I go to modifiers and I just turn up the ambient a little. Because the basic material can be a little dark. Also, he's a little too. Let's go ahead and go to the layer that we were originally on. Color, start recording it. Poly paint, adjust colors. So a little bit less saturation. Maybe a little bit more contrast again. Oh, come up too high. You guys excited for the ZBrush Summit? Got announced. I know I am. I know I am super hyped for the ZBrush Summit. How exciting. I know. I've been waiting for a while. Who here is going to participate in the portfolio review? You're a little excited? All right. Let me announce that the portfolio submissions are open. You're gonna post photo on Discord for the portfolio, so like you can do a photo, but the link to ArtStation or something like that might be better if you have it. So give me a second because I'm opening submissions right now. Nazmul, hey Anna, it's been a while since I've watched your streams. Hope you're doing good. I wonder, how do you make sure you have good posture when sculpting or drawing? Well, Nazmul, if I ever figure that out, I'll let you know. Literally, when I watch my streams back, I'm like, holy moly, I can't believe how bad my posture is. Truly ghastly. Ghastly, I say. So bad. I need to work on my posture, so like, you know, I've been thinking about buying a chair that doesn't suck, because like my chair's pretty bad. And I've also been thinking about how do I say, just like doing yoga and stuff like that, just to try to help a little bit at a time. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to get my peaks and valleys mask right is always a multi-step process for me because I always destroy it a lot. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Maybe I do need a computer upgrade. Let's go to my quick saves. I wonder if this is my recovered tool here. No. One, I don't speak Spanish at all. Unfortunately. Not yet, anyway. I think every computer everywhere is a little bit rude sometimes, right? Let me go ahead and just do some mask by cavity again. And just kind of color in those spikes because they're kind of disappearing, right? And smooth that out a little bit and just grab that, like, make sure that I'm on the right layer. Yes. Beigey color. Wrong brush. Gotta set up all my brushes again. Do you bake your normals for production pipeline? Depends on what production pipeline I'm doing, but yes, normally. Like, there have been times I haven't, like when I've done stuff for like advertisements and whatnot. And I'll just like send in the high poly or make a displacement map instead. It depends on what production you're doing. Always more RAM. Oh god, there's the symmetry again. Oh lord. Have mercy. But hey, you know what? Little by little, we're going to get something that looks great. Next week, I'll definitely be on here. God, I already have a lot of portfolios to go over for the next stream, huh? Pretty fun. How long have you spent on this model? 4 hours of streaming. Which is different than normal work hours, I might add. Because you're talking, hanging out. So they deal with all UVs, baking and reproject. That sounds like less things to worry about. So like, no, it depends on different workflows for different types of work require different things. But like, no, they don't deal with UVs, and they don't deal with the baking because sometimes they just don't need it. If they needed it, I would deal with it. I'm enjoying this project so far. Hope you guys are too. I was hoping I could do it in one stream. That dream is dead. Only have about 4 minutes left, so it's not much else that I can do tonight that'll actually make a difference. Maybe I'll turn up the glossiness in my material though, just for fun. So maybe I'll turn up the specular, like so. Not too much. It's a little. Kind of make it more interesting. Yeah, light paint's a good placeholder. I'm obviously going to, do a better one. Let's see how it looks with like a nice gray or something. I guess I cannot. Sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions on these character development. That's okay. Did I already read that one? I read it in my head. Sometimes I'll read stuff in my head and I won't say it out loud, or I will read stuff out loud and think that I didn't. It's chaotic up in my brain. Yeah, we made a lot of different brushes today, a lot of different alphas, having a good time. Go ahead and save this little guy out. I always use a tool. I like to save as tools. Alrighty guys, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to follow the ZBrush Live channel. A ton of amazing, talented artists with all different workflows all stream on here almost every day. So make sure to follow, okay, and come and watch the other artists as well if you haven't already. Let me share some of my links with you. So, I have a ton of social media. You can choose whichever one you'd like to follow. I post a ton of both entertainment and educational content on there. I also have my Discord, which is where my free portfolio reviews are about to start. People are already submitting their work, so make sure you get in on that action before I run out of time. Here's the link for the stream. Okay, that's on my Twitch and in Carolina Arts. That's where I'm going to go live right after this stream. All right, and last but not least, if you want to do a workshop, learn sculpting from me in a classroom environment, things like that, join my workshop. And if you want to ever work one-on-one with me as your mentor, join the mentorship waiting list. Okay, I will see you all on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I've had a great time.